Hi guys, happy Wednesday. Um, who's excited for some crafting? I feel like I'm totally out of my element because I haven't been home. Um, we I'm bumping you around, I apologize. We had a little long weekend getaway. So yeah, so I haven't really been doing much crafting. I've been when I came back home was cleaning up some like paperwork things, which are not fun. Um, yeah, Naomi is in the comments, and she is talking about an incident that happened here in Ohio last week where there were three police officers who were ambushed while they were eating lunch, and one of them passed. The other two were taken to the hospital and thus far have survived their injuries. The funeral for the officer that passed is today. So thank you for your prayers, Naomi. We appreciate them. Um, let's take a little break. Let's take a little break from reality and make some things. At least that's what I do. When it gets to be a little bit too much. So today, I pulled out this set, which is from the new release. This is Stitch with Love. This is one of my sets that I illustrated, and it comes with the little embroidery hoop and then three different kind of designs that fit inside that, and then the matching dies. This is an older set that I pulled for the sentiments. I like the sentiments in general, but I like the size of them. And then I also pulled out the vintage label dies. If like these are one of my go-to. So what I thought we would do today is look at look at a way that we could use this set differently, because you guys know, especially when I am drawing them. Hi Debbie and Deanna. We've got some people coming in. So uh I when I buy a set, I want to be able to use it multiple ways. So I thought we would look at another way that we could use this outside of just using it as the image inside the embroidery hoop. So let's do that. I have to get my papers though. Okay. So did you guys have you had a good week? That's nail polish. That is my current nail polish that I'm wearing right there. I don't know how I got this on my glass mat, but thankfully the glass mat cleans up really nicely. If you're ever interested in the glass mat, I do have a coupon code. Um, okay. So in order to figure out how many I'm going to want to stamp, I am going to, if you guys have not watched my videos before, um, that it's probably new to you. Um, Hi Wendy, bye Wendy. She's got to go do mom things, which I totally get. Um, if you have not previously watched my videos, then or my lives, you probably don't know, but I dry fit like everything because um, as the old adage goes, like measure twice, cut once. So that's what I'm trying to do. I just want to make sure that this extra piece is this one, and it is. So let me find a A2 size card in my scrap pile. Is this? I always got to check because who knows what I do. I can't be trusted with sizes. So this will go here. And then I need to figure out how many. I think we're going to do these little cluster ones. I think those are pretty. So maybe one in each corner. and then the sentiment in the middle. I think I like that. Okay. So now that we have that going on, sneaking in from work, I love it. All right, so I am going to take my face off while we get down to the crafting and the coloring. Um, please let me know. Oh, hi, Catherine. She's never gotten to watch a live. So, well, welcome. Um, so what I am thinking here is, um, will you guys tell me, I guess, because we've kind of been doing um, both of them, but I can't remember what we used last time. So you tell me if you would like to use Copic markers or Olo markers. What are you feeling like today? I don't know what you guys have. Hi, Lori. Okay, let me find my ink. Oh, okay, so we got a lot of Copics. All right. Third day in a row of a heat wave in New York, hoping for rain tomorrow and Friday. Shannon, I totally get that. It has been, we went up to the lake, living in Northeast Ohio. We live relatively close to the Great Lakes. We were up there. It was hot, hot, hot. Thankfully, they have a pool, but it was quite it was quite packed. Um, but we did the second day, the rain kind of passed over us. The day that we left, though, it absolutely poured, like torrential downpour coming in sideways. I'm not great with any marker, so I love watching and learn something no matter which you use. Well, honestly, the techniques are the same no matter which one, like which marker you have. It just depends on if you have the same exact colors or not. And some people like to see the same colors in action. Oof, 110 heat index in Nashville. I feel for you. My nephew, the one who's going to school to be a dentist, is still down there, but he is in Knoxville. So, yeah, it's crazy. Lori said it's 108 in Austin. I did just talk to Lisa, um, Honeybee Lisa, the other day, and she was like, it is brutal. The sun is just brutal. All right. So I like stamping mine twice. As you can see, I stamped down both of those twice. And then do I prefer Copics over Olo? I am more comfortable with my Copics, but um, I think that's just due to years of use. I don't necessarily know that it has anything to do with like how they work. And I'm trying to raise you up just a little bit. Like who sings that? Josh Groban. I'm trying to raise you up, but I'll do my best. Okay. So I feel like maybe we're gonna go with like more tropical-y colors. I think I would like that. All right, so we need to have some contrast. That is important. So I'm just pulling some colors that I think that I would like together. Um, these little side ones, we don't have much real estate. So, well, I would, Catherine, I wasn't singing it because, girl, I can't carry a tune in a bucket. But I guess I was referencing it. All right. 9, 4, and 38. Okay. And then for the greenery, I think we're going to go. Marie asked about Little Jelly Bean doing dance. She is very much enjoying dance class. We actually have dance tonight. So, I had been going and getting her early and then like in the bathroom of the daycare swapping out her clothes. Um, and then the last time our lady who does our daycare very, very generously was like, you could send that stuff with her and I would just get her ready for you. And I'm like, girl, I'm not trying to put that on you. And she was like, no, I don't mind at all. So that is what I did today, which will make my life so much easier because when I get there, then I have to make sure that she's gone potty because, we're still potty training, and that she's gone potty before we go to dance, and then get her in her tights and her little thing and all this jazz. And so if she could do that for me, that would be great. All right. So I think I'm going to do the pink roses, the orange little like daisy style flowers, and then these teal, I think, and these green, and then we'll figure out a berry color. Okay. So let's start with the roses. So these are the ones that I am using, and I will try to remember to leave the caps out. So it's an RV02, 04, 09, and 69. Okay. So we're going to do one, the old way that I used to color, lightest to darkest, darkest to lightest, so that you can see. So remember, it's any point where two places meet or where one object lays on top of the other. That's where we're adding them. But these are really easy because they're like swirled in on each other. So as long as you stick to the inside edge, you're going to be putting the shadow in the right place. Okay. And then so when you're doing it this way, you're going right over top of what you just put down. And it looks crazy, but that's okay. How hard are Copics to refill? I don't think they're that hard at all. Especially when I use my tweezers, and I like using my honeybee tweezers. I have like a second set that I use for that because they're black, so I don't have to worry about the alcohol ink like staining them. Eminem, baby girl, I don't have anything for you. Can you stop stepping on my stuff though? Thank you. Dogs. I think she heard me in here talking and got excited we might have a guest, and then realized that there was nobody but me in here. Okay, so we went all the way out to our darkest. Now on the reverse, we will go over that darkest and then extend it out just a little bit. Now, like I said before, there's not a lot of real estate here, so this isn't necessary, but I do want to show you that you have options if you're uncomfortable. And we do want to make sure that we're leaving a little tiny strip of white for our lightest color, for our highlight color. And then we'll just go in with the lightest color. Fill in that little edge. And then we have one flower done and dimensional. So now I'm going to do it a little bit of a faster way. There's nothing wrong with doing it this way. I just want to be very clear about that. There's nothing wrong with doing it this way. I did it this way for years. However, as you get more comfortable, you can do it a way that is a little bit faster, which would be starting with your darkest color to begin with. Now we're doing the same thing. We're putting the color down in the same area, but this oftentimes is more intimidating because darks are scary and they're harder to cover up if you make a mistake. I totally get that. I bought the most cost effective, oh, I don't even know how to say this. Oh, hoo hoo. I don't know. Somebody tell me. Then opted to change them all out to Copic because I knew I was in love with alcohol markers. Yeah, I think it just depends on. I started with the Marvi Ukurta alcohol markers before I went to my Copics. And where are you putting or using light source? I am not using a light source. I am merely just following the rules of where 2 points adding the shading where 2 objects meet, where 2 points meet, or where one object lays on top of the other. I am not using a light source for this coloring. So with this one, we obviously go over and then extend out. We're still leaving that sliver of white for our lightest color. It's important to maintain that highlight color. But so now this one, we did not have to do it twice, but everything is just as dimensional. So that is how we're going to color the rest of them. As soon as I get a little sip here of my, I did illustrate this set, Sharon. Yes, I did. This is, I think this is the last one that I did before my mama went into hospice. So, and then after that, I haven't really illustrated anything since then. Well, no, I take that back. I did do something for, I'm teaching in a retreat in October, um, with Erin Thompson. She's the one who runs the Nashville Craft Retreat. And we're doing a virtual retreat. Well, part of it's virtual, but then you could also do it in person if you're local to Tennessee. There's a portion that you can do in person too. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that one. Hi, Cynthia. And then we're going to do the same thing with these because if you watch, I'm matchy matchy and I cannot help myself. So when we're like putting our marker to paper, no matter what brand you're using, it really should be barely touching. Because if you're applying any amount of pressure, you're going to get a lot more bleeding. So you just want this to be barely touching so it doesn't blow out the dark color into the whole rest of your flower. And this one, I'm just doing all 3 of them at the same time for efficiency's sake. And then, especially these ones where these petals are a little bit larger, if you want them to be a little bit darker because you want a little color variation, you can extend out this mid-tone color into those larger petals, and it would make them overall a little bit more um, dark. Obviously, it's harder to do that with the smaller petals, but with the bigger ones, you can. Yeah, Denise said, like, she tends to want to press down on them, which I totally get, but because they absorb into the paper so quickly, like, you really don't need to press down really at all. And try your best to leave that little sliver of white. If you do get heavy-handed and, like, you've lost that white, still go in with that lightest color on the edge because alcohol inks are transparent. You can lighten up a darker color with a lighter one. And so even if you've lost the white on the edge, if you go in with that lighter color, it will push it out. Okay. So now both of those are colored. Are you going to have to outline the whole stamp at the end if you double stamp at the beginning? So that is how I ended up stopping. Like, I used to trace everything with a black marker. That is how I ended up getting away from it, is because I just double stamped it in the beginning to create a bolder black outline. Now, sometimes that does mean I have to heat set my inks because I'm putting down two layers of ink and I'm being impatient and not waiting for them to dry. So, yeah, sometimes I do have to heat set them, but it does mean that I don't have to trace them. Sometimes I still do. It just depends on the card. So these are the daisy colors. So for these ones, I'm going to start at the bottom and I'm going to flick up into the petal. Copics can switch out nibs, right? Yes, they can. You can switch out the nibs on your Copic markers. Okay, now this is my mid-tone. Sorry, I'm holding it in my hand. And this one, I will flick over the dark and take it almost to the top. And then the lightest color, I'm actually going to start at the edge and then flick in. If you feel like you need a little bit more dark, you can always go back in and bump up that contrast. Is this Memento or another dye ink? Catherine, this is Honeybee's Intense Black ink, and it is safe for alcohol markers. This is the first time I've gotten to use this set. I was so busy using other sets that I didn't use my own. Right? Yes, Catherine, it is available on their website. There's a link in the YouTube description to get over there, and then later I'll have all the supplies linked. Okay, so now we are going to. I think I'm only going to need two colors for my teal. So for that, I am going to do these longer ones. And again, I'm just going to flick up, and then I will fill in the rest of it with this lighter blue green. Okay. So sometimes picking color combinations can be challenging, but what we're actually going to end up with here is a double complement, which sounds really fancy, but all it means is that there's two sets of complementary colors, and that is so we know those complementary colors will work really nicely together. Okay, and for this one, I'm going to do these leaves here, and then the bottom of these little daisies. I do definitely want to leave a little bit of area for that lightest color. Oh my gosh, Sharon, that is so funny. I did not even realize that I did not finish the story. So I actually I have a video that will go up later today that I will finish the story, which honestly isn't even like that big of a deal. It was just comical um to find another crafter, but everybody in the comments was like, "But wait, what happened in the story?" Oh, Lord. Okay. Oh, I forgot the leaves. Silly. Okay. All right. And then so with the berries, okay, we could totally like just pick another color, but instead of doing that, I think what I'm going to do is I am going to just go with a dark from you could do this or you could do the YR09. I'm just going to go in and fill them in completely. This is still going to stay with our color palette, but it will still be a little bit of a different look than the actual roses. So I will tell you, if you are a person who likes to do the outline, you want to do that before you do any of your die cutting. It's just easier, so you don't have to, like, chase it around. Um, and then, like, this one in the middle, like, how it's all open where they're all meeting, you can fill this in. I'm just gonna do the blue-green, but then that way it feels more full, like a like an actual bouquet arrangement. Debbie. Kelly, did you take art classes? Well, I took them in high school, but I failed them. True story. Um, my art teacher and I just didn't see eye to eye. And also I was a willful child. Um, I'm sure that's where my dear sweet daughter gets it now. Um, I understand now they were trying to teach me the fundamentals. They just were they didn't do it in a way that I felt like was conducive to me learning. It was just a whole lot of criticism. I can't swear on here, but it was a lot of poops and not a lot of attaboys. And I think that when you're teaching, it's also important to encourage. So I'm going to use this to cut both of these out, and I'm going to, because I'm not sure if I want to use the full frame or if I just want to use this one by itself. I'm not sure what I want to do here. So I'm going to cut them both out. Okay. So I'm going to see if I can get this matched up. These ones that go edge to edge, I always like to flip them over so I know that everything is lined up. And then, oh, look, my tape has picked up something. So then I like to put just a little bit of tape on this side and then wrap it around. For some reason, this my my die is like slightly warped. I probably shoved it through when there was too much pressure one time. And then we'll make sure that stays lined up and do the same thing over here. Oh, Jennifer, that's so nice that you guys get to watch together. And then I am going to cut this one out as well. Because I am cheap, I want to make sure I can use both pieces. So I will take the time to line this up in the center. There we go. More tape. All right. I'm not going to haul the die cutter up here because you guys know that I keep it on my floor. So I'm going to run these through super quick because I was doing so many projects before we left. Like, I mean, that's just how it is when you work for yourself. You know, you always got to be hustling right up until the minute you're on vacation. And I'm still not completely caught up. So I am trying my best. I'm doing my best to meet all my deadlines. Why will you not stay? We're gonna have to do one. That's annoying, but it is what it is. One, two. Oh, you're gonna become a grandma? That's so exciting. Do you have a name picked out? Like my mom was a Nana. My husband's mom is a grandma. My aunt is a Mimi. Bye, Denise. Have a good day. Oh, a Grammy. That's cute. My mom's grandmother was a granny, is what they called her. And I was like, oof. I don't know what I want to be called, but I know I don't want to be called Granny. Oh, I guess God bless the women who are okay with that. That is just like that's too much for me. Your daughter called your mom Nana. Yeah, whatever your first grandchild is, that they're basically the ones who pick it. And my nephew, who's now a grown man, um, he called them Nana and Papa. So my parents are Nana and Papa. Okay. Oh, Gigi, yeah, I have seen that. I have seen that before. All right, so now I might have to trim another. I might have used them all. I might have to trim another white piece. Let's see. All right, let's see what we got going on here. I don't want to run over my card stuff. So I've got a couple of things going on here. Our little flowers. Oh, Bonnie, your mom was a mama? Yeah, so my kids, well, it was Nathan really, called Graham mama. I think it's something from the South, honestly. All right, so something like that. Okay, I do like this. I can get behind this. I wonder if we did this piece like a way to bring in the color. It's connected. Pardon my yawn. Is there a trick to getting smooth cuts with the trimmer? I bought one for the wire, but it doesn't cut cleanly. Is it the Fiskars one? That's the only one I know that has the wire. Debbie, is it this one? It has I don't know if you can see it. It has a guide wire. Um, if it's not cutting smooth, you probably need to change your blade. All right. So I'm kind of I would like this to be framed, but also I'm digging the white on white. I don't know what to do here. let's see about a sentiment, and then I'll make a decision about the other. So the sentiment that I was leaning toward is wishing for the best. Wishing you the best. I love this one. Friends are one of the special ways that God takes care of us because my Lord, if that's not true. Thank you for always being there. So I think I'm gonna go with this one. I need to send a card to May. Um, that's funny. So Catherine just asked who is the card for, and May Park. If you guys aren't familiar, she works for Altenew. She, especially when like everything was going on with mom, like she sent me cards and text messages and stuff. I really do need to send her a card. Um, so I think I am gonna go with that one. And I think I am gonna go with in black on white, I think is what I'm gonna do. Can I fit this in here? Oh, I can definitely fit it down there. Okay. And then I do want to toy around with framing this in. And by sending it, you mean Eric. Marie, I absolutely do. Um, when you illustrate a set, who does the sentiments? So it depends on the company. For a honeybee, I do these sentiments. They used to do the sentiments, and then we flopped so that I was doing the whole thing. Um, so yeah, those ones are mine. These are is from a different set. Okay, so let's do this. This is from a whole nother set. Okay, I'm gonna set this over here so that I can stamp this. The name of the sentiment set that I am using is, stand by, Best of Everything. And like I said, if you're interested, I will, after we're done here, I will put my supply list together and link it in the YouTube description. Or if you're watching on the replay, hopefully it should already be there. Okay, there we go. Now I have to get my black ink. I only have one child, and I was told by my doctors I could never get pregnant, and finally got pregnant. Congratulations, Susan. And now your daughter never wants kids. Well, sometimes they change their minds, sometimes they don't. Um, when I was in my 20s, I was like, I'm never going to have kids. I thought I was far too selfish of a person to have children, and I knew to be a good parent, you needed to be selfless. Um, and so I was like, I'm way too selfish to do that. But then as I got older, I changed my mind. And obviously now I have two children. Er, You know, Why do I make a specific card for someone and still not get it to them? Girl, when you know the answer, let me know because I do the same thing. I do the same thing. I have like all of the intents and it just don't happen. I think it's this one. There we go. Okay, now tape. All my boys said no kids, but they are worried about having twins since they are. Well, girl, I don't blame them. Twins is a lot. Twins is a lot. Though I wouldn't mind being pregnant just one time. I wouldn't have minded that at all. Now let's bring this guy back in. Okay. I like that. Now I do have a deep urge to frame it in, but I'm going to fight this. Girl, you had 2 sets of twins. God bless you. Lord have mercy. That is no thank you. You must have been so tired. You must have been so tired. All right. So, can I tell you guys funny story? I was in such a rush when I left that I left the cap off of my glue for the entirety of the time that we were gone. Um, and I was figured I'd have to throw the whole thing away, but actually I only had to just poke the top of it with a needle and it's worked fine since. I was pretty surprised. Okay. Now, as I say that, it's going to stop working. Oh, my friend had a twin girl and they wanted a boy. She got pregnant again with girl triplets. Yeah, they were just meant to have girls. That's sometimes God is just like, no, it is what it is. You get what you get. I was surprised with both of my pregnancies. I did not want to know. Um, because it didn't for me it didn't matter. I just wanted a healthy baby. So, okay. Corner here. And then I do like this little extra layer of white. Scoot over just a smidge. Okay. Now our flowers. Your daughter had 3 boys and even their dog is a male. Well, I mean, that was my poor father. They had 3 girls, and that's just it was what it was. They when they had me, I'm the baby, they were trying for a boy. And, back then everything was like, "Oh, well, you're carrying low, heartbeat is like a boy, this, that, and everything else." So I was literally John Jr. right up until the moment that I was born. Um, and they were like, "Meet your daughter." But anybody who knows me and my father will tell you that he did get a John Jr., just in a different just in a different way. Oh, my poor mother. Okay, so we got that going on, and I dumped these last time, so they're all sitting on my desk over here. I'm gonna see if I can snag some up. Hi, Brandon. All right, let's see what we can get in here. All right, I go 1, 2, and then 3, and then 1, 2, and we'll see where that takes us. And then um, I think we're gonna go one here, and then another one up here. And I think that would be good. That one has a hair too much glue. Okay. And of course, we have to do the shimmers. Shimmer, shimmer, shimmers. And our good old white gel pen. Brandon, this is the Stitched with Love set. Yes. All right. So I'm gonna do little highlights on the berries. And think we're gonna do just some little highlights on some of these, like the tops of the petals. That's gonna help make them shine a little more. And don't forget, like when you're doing the gel pen, like um, not everything has to make sense. So, like if you want to add uh, like a little design or something with your white gel pens, like here, let's do 3 little dots on our daisies. Like this isn't necessarily how this, these flowers would look, but they're cute, so it's fine. We can add them. Okay, I think that is it. I can't believe we did it in under an hour. This is This is different for us. All right, so let me bring it up here. Maybe you can see the shimmers. I really like the way that this one came out. It's a little different. It's not as colorful as I would normally go, but I think there's something to be said for the texture that's created with the white on white. I'm pretty happy with it. Okay. So, like I said before, I will make sure that I put everything together and link them below. Before you run off, we do need to pick a winner of our gift card. So hang tight. I am going to just randomly stop. And Catherine Frederick is going to be our winner. Congratulations, Catherine. So please send an email to Betsy at the customer care at honeybeestamps.com, so that she can get you your gift card so that you can go shopping. Um, I always appreciate you guys spending your time with me. I know that your time is a precious commodity. So thank you so much for hanging out with me. I hope that this inspired you to use this set a little bit differently. And I will see you guys on Monday for our Monday night premiere. All right, have a nice rest of your week, guys. I'll see you later. Bye.